Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment video. Jump right into it. Um, Now, I was walking with my wife last night, and the question out there was just burning in my mind all day was with regards to the NBA in particular right now. Are you okay with hurting your own money, your potential earnings, the popularity, and the health, the livelihood of your sport, your industry, your profession? Would you be okay with hurting all of that in order to exercise your right to speak your mind, to voice your opinion, to express yourself freely? And then on the other side of that, maybe a spin off of that is, where are you with being, how do you value being understood versus being supported? And I'll say this, that's probably one of my major weaknesses is I absolutely hate being misunderstood. Especially if I feel that you're intentionally, if you're trying to misunderstand me. And I think right now that's why I'm so I could care less about really interacting with others, because right now out here I feel like there's very little effort giving to understanding each other versus just continuing to argue about the BS. And so I'm gonna get into, along those lines, I'm gonna get into something on Chris Mannix, Sports Illustrated's NBA and boxing journalist, Naomi Osaka at the U.S. Open. And I might touch on this Candace Owens versus Cardi B thing. And I've recorded this video like 5 times. I'm trying to keep this short. But this Bobby Burak on Outkick.com, he has a new piece up talking about the NBA playoffs. First round of this season versus first round of last year, it's down 27%. He also added that it's down 40% from 2 years ago. So that's interesting. These numbers are, concerning. And at the crux of all of this is the NBA players have been addressing the current issues, right? The current issues going on with the police brutality. You got Black Lives Matter on the court. You got all the messages, the personal messages on the back of the jerseys, so on and so forth. And then I'm looking at the comment section of Burak's his article, and it's all trash down there. So I was asking my wife, I think I'm okay with that. It's not my money though, and it won't be my television deal that has to be renegotiated. But I've always looked at the NBA crowd and marveled at the fact that all of this diverse group of people, how do they put up with one another's differences? How are they so accepting or tolerable of these guys to say what they have to say, and now we started seeing this with the Colin Kaepernick situation, that people didn't want him. They took his point and went about to obfuscate what he was talking about, and it was very simple. It was very straightforward. He wasn't a fan of police brutality. He felt that unarmed people were being killed, and it turned into all this other stuff. They turned it into all this other stuff. Even Goodell, even 45 went in and took this man's message and made it something else. And this like I said, this has made me pull back. Like I really don't want to talk to nobody. Like, man, you on that bullshit? Nothing to talk about. Like I'm done explaining. I'm done tap dancing and tippy toeing around stuff. We gotta be able to understand straightforward stuff. Plain and simple. Life is too short. Gotta be able to understand straightforward stuff. Burak has a stat in here. He says that NBA's pivot to a democratic promotion machine is at the top of explanations. A Harris poll found that 38% of sports fans say they're watching fewer games because the NBA has become too political. But the injection of partisanship isn't the only reason fans have chosen to turn out. He speaks on his 45% decline from 2011 to 2012. The NBA's greatest strength is its stars that overshadow teams. The league is too reliant on a few top individuals, and the gap between LeBron James and number 2 is massive. So I guess, to see this audience shrink, I'm just like, maybe that's all that matters. Maybe you just deal with the people who want to be there and who are tolerable. And these people down here at the bottom of this Burak piece, the hell with them. Like, again, do you want to be understood, or do you want to be supported? I'm kind of with the NBA players. I'm okay if we lose these people. I don't want to play for them anyway. And like I said, I go down here in this Burak comment section. These are people that don't like you. Flat out. They don't like you. They don't like what you stand for. They don't like you. So man, I don't need them to be here. I don't need their money. Now, I mentioned Chris Mannix because I'm listening to some Chris Mannix podcasts. I'm listening to him pop up in interviews. This is a white man around all of these different black athletes, a lot of black boxers, and he acknowledges the situations. He expresses his position on something like a George Floyd. He just goes about his business. And I'm just like, how come we can't have that like rampant? Why isn't it more of that? Why are these angry ass dudes at the bottom of this article in this comment section? Why are you so mad that somebody is saying something? Now my wife said she's not a fan of because she can't do it at her job. So she says she's not the biggest fan of all the NBA guys speaking out. And I get it. I think the dynamics are a little different. The makeup of the workforce is a lot different, which allows them to, which led to the situation where we had the stoppage in play a couple weeks ago, a week and a half ago or so, whatever. Naomi Osaka. So the ratings, I want to know what the ratings are going to be for the U.S. Open, because Naomi Osaka, who's becoming the face of women's tennis, she's been wearing a different mask with a different individual who's been a victim, who lost their life or was a victim of police brutality. Because I think she had a Jacob Blake mask on, but she had Arbery, that was not the police. I think she mentioned that or made that distinction. She also had Trayvon Martin was the mask I believe she had on yesterday. He also was not. That was not a police brutality, a police involved situation. So I'm saying she's doing this, and again, what are you gaining with this? And she doesn't even have. Again, she's not even making the strongest statement of why she's wearing the mask. She's just like, I became aware of it. I didn't like it. I didn't think it was right. I thought it was unfortunate. I thought it was unacceptable. It's basically what she said. Are people turning away though? One thing that I didn't really care for what Osaka said was when she made her post on Instagram. I believe she used the word genocide, and I've always said words matter. And this is where I get concerned when any and everybody is speaking on everything constantly. Not everybody is meant to get up and be heard. And now here I am telling people not to speak, but I'm just saying don't be reckless with it. It's not genocide between white police officers and black people. LeBron James saying he's scared every day. We're always fearful. That's not a true statement. He himself is not scared all the time, and even me, I don't go to work every day, or when I was going to work, I didn't have a fear of being pulled over by the police. Now, if they ever get behind me, I have some concerns. I have some concern about, especially you have some concerns. But I'll be honest. I'll be the first to tell you, I had two issues, maybe 2 weeks apart last year. Both stops ended up in me and the officer laughing, and it was my mistake. He didn't make it more than what it was. Gave me my little. I ended with a warning and was like, "Man, take care of that." But so no, I'm not sitting here. I don't go along with that with LeBron. But to tell LeBron altogether, you shouldn't. You don't say nothing. I got a problem with that. I'm not gonna get into the Candace Owens and Cardi B thing because I'm running over my time. But another thing with this Bobby Burack piece, he put the top ranked cable shows. It was a tweet, I guess, of his that he had, but he had the top 7 cable shows, news shows in August. 1 was Hannity, 2 was Tucker Carlson, 3 was The Five, 4 was Laura Ingraham Angle. I think that's Laura Ingraham. The original Shut Up and Dribble. 5 was Maddow. 6 was a special report with Brett Baer. And then the story with Martha McCollum. Like, why aren't people able to talk if y'all are dominating everything? And I'm assuming this is Burack's. I'm assuming he's a fan of all of that. So if y'all are dominating the discussion, like there can be the other side can't be represented anywhere. You only got Maddow. To be honest, man, Maddow, for someone to sit there for 15, 20 minutes to open the show with her monologue, and I can't do it, man. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. The other people, I don't even bother. And it's not because everybody doesn't make some valid points, but no one ever goes back to their side and calls their side out on the obvious BS. And I guess they can't do that because that's how they make a living. And it's like us out here, like, seriously, let me hear the positive and the negative. And that was my issue with Candace Owens going at Cardi B. First, why are you wasting time on a rapper that none of us really take serious? But she went at Cardi B for all of these for these reasons. But it's like, your dude is not perfect. Your side is not perfect. That's neither here nor there, though. But honestly, man, I'm kind of with, and we're getting ready to see with the NFL. Because we hear different things, different changes. They want to have their say. Are the NFL numbers going to go down? Their numbers have been steady, despite the fact of the Kaepernick situation and so on and so forth. Their numbers have been somewhat consistent this entire time. So if they do come out here, I saw something with the flag, and it'll be interesting to see what those numbers are. But again, I look at a lot of NFL comment sections, and it's that shut up and it's that disrespect. It's that fire for. We'll get into that another. I'm already 8 minutes longer than what I wanted to be on here. Are you okay with hurting your own money to be able to say what you want to say? You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Peace.